Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. Sorry for the delay. Just had a little building fire drill here. All done now. So I'm going to get started. Thank you all for attending. So today and every Tuesday, we do a live training session to welcome people to Vendorful and give you an overview of how to get started. So I'm going to get right into it. If you've signed up for Vendorful, and you probably have if you're attending this webinar, then you will see, when you log in, you will see something that looks like what you're seeing on your screen here with the Let's Get Started, and then the couple of options there, add sources to your content library, start a response. So I'm going to walk you through what this means in practice and what to do. So to set the stage, this demo environment is for a fictitious CRM company called Acme CRM. So I'm one of the founders of Acme CRM. I've pre-populated my content library with a few different pieces of relevant content. I've got an old RFP. I've got some information security policy documents. It can be whatever you think is relevant. You can add marketing material, support material, anything that you think is going to help you answer the kinds of questionnaires that you are dealing with. If it's security questionnaires, then you're going to want to add, obviously, IT related information. The best thing is past security questionnaires, but anything related to policy documents. And we'll walk you through the different kinds of documents. I'll show you examples of both ingesting a questionnaire and ingesting a unstructured text document. So let me start with the latter. So I am going to add Acme's business continuity and disaster recovery plan to our knowledge base here. So I just uploaded that, I selected that PDF file, and now it's parsing it and adding it to the content library. So when this is done, then all of the text from that document, from the business continuity disaster recovery plan, is available to help the AI fill out a questionnaire. So all the information about, what is our disaster recovery policy? Who's responsible? When's it formed, etc. All there relevant to RFPs, security questionnaires, whatever. The other kind of content you can ingest is past questionnaires. So I'm going to show you the example of a completed RFP. So this is an RFP that came in Excel, and you'll see there's a series of questions and answers and sections. And so to help your knowledge base actually understand what's in this document, because an Excel file can be, kind of anything. We could just take in the text and not, just kind of let the AI figure it out. But it's a lot better if we can give it guidance to say, hey, these are questions, and then these are answers. And then that's really, really useful for answering future questionnaires. To do that, it's very simple. You'll see it looks like a spreadsheet in the browser. So I just select the questions, and then I say, all right, change the mode to selecting the answers, highlight the answers, and boom, I've matched 6 questions. You see the number up here is 6. I've matched 6 questions and their corresponding answers. And I could do that for this whole document. I'll select a few more. Oops. If you make a mistake like I just made, I selected answers, which are really supposed to be questions. Just select clear, highlight them, and then I've cleared it. So I'm going to go back to this and say these are questions. Now I'm going to select these 4 questions, and I'm going to select these 4 answers. So now I've identified 10. And there are shortcuts here. I can select whole rows and columns. So put it back into question selection mode, right, all of column B, this is where all the questions are. And then column C is where all the answers are. And we try to apply some intelligence. We can see that, things are blank. So that's not relevant. We're just, looking for places where there's actually text in both cells. And so we've matched up 35 questions and answer pairs. So I've highlighted everything. If there were multiple sheets here, there'd be multiple tabs, and I can select additional sheets and add the content for all those different sheets. When I'm done and ready to add this to the content library, I just click Add Content, and it uploads all the information. And now all of these question and answer pairs are in the database available to the AI to use for answering future questionnaires. All right, so we've now got a selection of a couple of different RFPs, a couple of different security documents or IT documents. Let's go and complete an RFP. So again, context here. This is for a fictitious CRM company called Acme CRM. So I've got a blank RFP that I'm going to fill out using the AI. So I've uploaded that spreadsheet. This is a blank file that's come in, and this is going to look very similar because you just saw it. It's the same thing. Just need to tell the AI where are the questions in here and where are the answers. So these are questions, and I want your answers to go over here. And the reason we want you to tell us where the answers go is because at the end of this, you can actually download this file with the answers filled in, so you're ready to go. And we'll show you, all the steps in the meantime or in between. Just like you saw earlier, there's shortcuts here, so I can select a whole column, questions, and a whole column of answers, and it'll match it up. There are 31 questions in this questionnaire. So I'm going to go ahead, submit this, and it goes. While this is processing, let me talk a little bit about what's happening here. So first, we parse the information. We look at the questions and look at the structure of the spreadsheet, and we glean as much information as we can as possible. And then we start to match, based on all the information we're seeing in the spreadsheet, what are the relevant pieces of information from your content library that are going to be most useful to help the AI guide its answers. So if you're getting a question about third-party contractors and your use of third-party contractors and whether they're subject to NDAs, we're going to look through both past responses, which mention information about third-party contractors and NDAs, also your policy documents. If you get a question about integrations, and you'll see some examples of this, we will look for not just questions that match the word integrations. It's a lot smarter than that. It's going to look for semantically similar, semantically related concepts. So, other systems, external systems, connections, things like that. Whatever is going to be most useful to give guidance to the AI to polish up those old answers, synthesize them, and synthesize different pieces of information that you've added into a new relevant answer to the question. So while this is going on, you see it, basically goes along at a pace of about 5 to 15 seconds per answer. It's about how long it takes to get a response back from the AI as it kind of writes, and it will vary by the length of the answer it's producing, the length of the question. So you saw it took a little while on question 19, and then for some of these other questions it's answering much faster. It'll get through the whole thing in just a couple of minutes. So while we're waiting for that to finish, I'll preview. I won't show you just yet. There's one more thing you can do with your content library, which is ask the AI, and I'll talk about that. It's the ability to ask one-off questions of your content library and get one-off answers, and I'll show you some examples of the things you might do. We are about to roll out an integration with Slack so that you can actually ask the AI straight from your company Slack, and shortly thereafter we'll be rolling out Teams as well. Okay, so now the response is done, and we've instead of having to fill out an entire RFP, now you are in the position of just having to review the answers. Now you'll see we've classified all of the responses here, the ones that the AI was able to answer and the ones the AI was not able to answer. Let's start there. Let's look at the one that was missing. Well, it turns out there was a question in here about which city has the best pizza. Now, we didn't answer that question. You may have heard of the concept of hallucination in the context of AIs and large language models and various bots that make use of large language models. We spent a lot of time trying to make sure that the system will not just make up content. If it doesn't know, we want it to tell you that it doesn't know and not just make up an answer. You need to have confidence that what you are seeing is relevant and is believable. You may not always agree with how it phrased things. You may discover that it's basing its answer on content that's outdated and you need to curate it. But it should always be producing plausible answers. And in this case, this question about pizza snuck in here, and there's no information in the content library to answer it. But should you encounter this situation, you can just manually add an answer. I'm based in New York, by the way, so I'm biased. So there we go. We've added the definitive answer for which city has the best pizza. And we've tracked that this was an answer provided by a human. And at the end of this, I'm going to be able to actually import that into my content library so that the next time I run an RFP and I get a question about which city has the best pizza, we'll get the right answer, which is, of course, New York. Okay, so let's go look at some other things. We'll look at the questions that were actually answered by the AI. So I mentioned integration. So let me find, I think there was a question in here about integrations. Here we go. How seamlessly does your CRM merge with other enterprise tools? So you see that this question was phrased in a pretty awkward way. Typically people will ask about integrations, but they said merge with other enterprise tools. Well, nonetheless, if we drill in here, we see that, as humans, we know that they're asking about integrations, and the AI knows as well. So, it answered specifically by saying it integrates seamlessly with a variety of business applications. But it also, I think because the phrasing here is a little ambiguous, went a little beyond that into kind of a broader answer, just to cover the bases. So it talked about, the technologies in the whole tech stack, because that might be what they're trying to get at in terms of like merging with other technologies. It actually answered this in a very smart way. And if we drill in here, we can see the content here. So if I look at this link here, view related content, we can always get, call it an audit trail of the data sources that contributed to this answer. So you see that it started pulling information from both integration related question. Like I said, it's smart enough to know, not just matching the actual words, but the semantic concept that like, okay, I should be looking for things about integrations. And then, okay, this one's interesting. It says plugging into marketing automation. Like semantically, that might be relevant because, plugging into, integrating, merging, other things around technologies that are merged into the application. And, then we start to get into, the less relevant things, but clearly it's drawing the answer from sort of more of the more relevant things, as well as other text from the content library that is semantically relevant. So whenever there's an answer and you want to look at where did it come up with this? Like, why did it refer to an old address? You probably have it in your content library and you can drill in and actually see where it's coming from. The other thing you could do is if I actually just want to simplify this, I want to say, actually, I know that they're interested in integrations. They're not so much interested in our tech stack. I can just select this. I select this past answer from the content library. And I just say, I'm just going to use this answer that we've given in the past. It's been vetted. It's approved. I know it's fine. So I've selected that. And now I've also tracked that, like, okay, now I've got 2 questions that are answered by a human. So we let you keep track of this, build up your response by editing or by selecting, from past content. And then at the end, download your response into an Excel file so that you have it in the exact format that it came in. Okay, so in just a couple more minutes, I want to show you the other relevant feature here that we're pretty excited about, which is Ask the AI. And as I mentioned, this is about to be rolled out with connections via Slack as well. For now, you can access it through the user interface. Okay, so this is a way of asking one-off questions of your content library that, whatever comes up. So it could be, specific questions, or we can prompt it to write something for us. Like, okay, say, a customer wants to know about our encryption policy. I can just ask the AI. I don't have to go and ask a technical expert. If that information is in the content library, then it will produce an answer for me. And you can, again, just as with the RFP response, you can see the sources that contributed to this answer. Now let's say I want to do something a little more general. Let's just say I joined the company. I'm a new salesperson. Write a 1-paragraph value proposition that I can use, when talking to people who aren't familiar with Acme. So I want to write for a general audience. I want to write it at a 10th grade kind of, something that's going to be accessible to everybody. So now I've asked it. There we go. So there you go. It's written me a concise value proposition. It's highlighted the things that we think are important here: the feature set, customer service, innovation, integration, user-friendly interface, price performance advantage, etc. And it's used very simple language, no technical jargon, per my instructions to write it at kind of a, something a teenager could understand. So, this gives you a flavor for what you can do with this. And again, this is going to be available via Slack so that you can actually just ask the Vendorful bot directly in your work channels. And we're going to roll out Teams, will be the next chat integration we roll out. With that, I've covered everything. I'm just going to take a quick peek here. No questions. So I'm going to let you all get back to your day. This recording will be available shortly after I end the stream, and recordings of past sessions are also available in our YouTube channel. Thank you all very much for signing up, and we look forward to you continuing to use Vendorful and getting value out of it. If you have any questions, ever at all, you can contact us through support@vendorful.ai, or the easiest way is through the help widget right in the application. Just click on the little help button. You can search our knowledge base, and you can also contact us directly from here. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.